Hey kiddos, it's Miss Richardson. I hope everyone's doing well. Today we're going to focus on order of operations. So in math, there are 4 operations, which are add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And when you have a long expression, you have to do that expression in a specific order to get the correct answer. So that's what we're talking about today. What is that order in which you have to solve math expressions? So here are our standards today. These are our learning targets. All right, so if you will open your Launch Point and open BrainPop from there, and then after you've opened it on your Chromebook, you may then click on this link and you can watch this awesome video, and afterwards take the little quiz. So one way we can remember that order of operations is to remember the expression, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That will help you remember the order in which you have to do long expressions like this one. So the P stands for parentheses. You always do parentheses first, then you simplify exponents next. After that, you multiply and or divide. And now these, you do whichever comes first in the math problem. So, we read from left to right. Well, you also solve math problems from left to right. So if you have multiplication and division going on, you do whatever's first in the problem from left to right. And the same thing with adding and subtracting. If there's a subtraction problem first, you would do that for addition. And so hopefully this saying will help you remember what to do in the correct order. All right, so let's look at how this problem's been solved. We do have parentheses, so the very first thing we're going to do is simplify 9 minus 5. So if you notice right here, everything's been brought straight down, divided by 2 plus 3, except for this part, because 9 minus 5 is 4. All right, on this one, we're going to divide. And then since this answer won't affect this one, we can also multiply at the same time, but we definitely don't add before we divide or multiply. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. We bring down our plus sign. 3 times 4 is 12, and our final answer is 20. If you solve that problem in any other order, you're going to get the wrong answer. So once you start doing problems on your own, if you need a little bit more review, then you can come back to the slide deck and watch this Math Antics video to see some more example problems. All right, so that order of operations is simply the order of rules we do when doing calculations. So the question is, but when you see something like this, what part should you calculate first? Would you start at the left and go to the right, or would you go from the right to the left? Well, it's actually neither of those things. You would follow the order of operations. So according to, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, you would take care of parentheses first. Then after you add 6 and 3, you would take care of our exponents. So 5 squared is 25. Before you're allowed to add, you would have to multiply 25 times 2, which is 50. And then the very last step would be to add whatever is left. All right, so let's look at this one being solved correctly. Like I said, parentheses first. So 6 plus 3 is 9. Bring everything else down. Then the E says we're going to simplify our exponents. So 5 squared means 5 times 5. Once we've simplified our exponents, before we're allowed to add, we must multiply 25 times 2. And then all we have left is addition. So we're going to add those things right in a row. 7 plus 9 is 16. And 16 plus 50 is 66. And that is how you use PEMDAS. All right, so you guys, there's 3 problems right here in the center of the screen. So I would like for you to pause the video. I want you to try these 3 problems on your own using the order of operation. All right, so let's see how you guys did. So you have to multiply first because it's first in the problem before division. There's no parentheses or exponents. I mean, I just drew those, but so let's do 7 times 6 is 42. Bring everything else down. We're going to bring down 3 plus, because the next thing we have to do is 42 divided by 3, which is 14. And our last step would be to add 14 plus 3 and get 17. All right, here we're going to do exponents first. 6 times 4 is 24. Bring everything else down. Now we must do our division problem next. So 24 divided by 3 is 8 minus 6 plus 2. We're going to subtract and add in order from left to right. So 8 minus 6 is 2, and 2 plus 2 is 4. All right, please, no parentheses. Do we have exponents? Yep, we have exponents. 2 squared, 2 times 2 is 4. And we write everything else down. After we simplified our exponents, we multiply or divide in order from left to right. So we have 36 divided by 3, and our final answer is 12. Did you guys get those right? 17, 4, and 12. All right, here's another example. It says it is helpful to evaluate or solve expressions one step at a time instead of trying to solve the whole thing at once. So in this problem, it's showing we would divide first, bring everything else down. Next, we would multiply. And then finally, the last thing we would do is add. All right, quiz time. There are 3 problems on this page. I want you guys to pause the video. I want you to work them all out and then come back and check your answers. All right, I hope you guys got them all right. So the first one is 2. The next one, we do exponents, then we multiply, then we divide, and the last thing we do is add. The last problem, the final answer is 4. We do parentheses first, and then we divide 10 by 5 next. And the last thing we do is multiply 2 times 2. All right, so here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 problems. So I want you guys to pause the video, try each of these on your own, and then I'm going to show you the answers. But I want you to try them on your own first. So go ahead and pause that video. And now here are all of those answers. If you missed any and you're not sure why, if you will send me a message, I will get right back to you and give you further instructions. But I have a feeling you guys are going to be doing great on this. So don't forget the order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay? Now, sometimes you're going to have to figure out what has happened. Why is this answer incorrect? Okay, so you have to look at each line and figure out what happened. Why did they get this wrong? Where is the error? You see it? Well, they did parentheses first, so that part's right. On the next line, they took care of their exponents first, which is correct. All right, on the next line, they added 7 plus 9 and got 16. Brought everything else down. The next line, they added 16 plus 25 and got 41. And finally, the last thing they did was multiply by 2, which is 82. Is that correct? No, it is not correct. So their error, this line is correct, but from here on down, that's wrong because they have to multiply first. So they should have got 50. And then they had to see how they added, and then they multiplied 16 times 25. You never add before you multiply. So the answer should have been 7 plus 9 is 16. 16 plus 50, is 66. All right, so let's see if you guys can find the errors. And these 2 problems. So what do you guys think? What did they do wrong? Have you found it yet? All right, so on this first one, they multiplied before they did exponents. You're not allowed to do that. You must do exponents first. So the second line should be 4 times 3 squared. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 5. That should be the second line, not this. Then they should have multiplied. And the final answer should be 41. All right, look at the second example. Do you see what they did incorrectly? Is there a mistake on this line? Nope, there's no mistake on this line. But this is incorrect. You can never subtract before you multiply unless there's parentheses there. And of course, there's not. So what should the answer be? Go ahead and figure it out. The final answer should be 0, because if they had multiplied 4 times 3 first, we would have got 12 minus 12. So the final answer should be 0. All right, so here's a couple more for you guys to do. I want you to try those. And I want you to send me a message and let me know what you got. All right, guys, I hope that helped. And if you have any questions on any problems you're working on by yourself, please let me know. Don't forget, I have office hours every Tuesday and Thursday morning starting at 8:15 to 8:45. Everybody have a great day, and I will check on you later. If I don't see you at office hours, I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving.